Can we make it home? Maybe. Ooh.
Warp engine deactivated.
That. Nope. Yes.
Ended.
There we go. Alright. So, we actually beat the first shipment of structure matrices here. So that's kind of nice. So, I guess what I could do... is just run a line over there. Everything's already so spaghettified. I don't think anybody will notice another line. As long as it doesn't get in the way of my graphene, I think I'm okay with this. I kind of just want to run this into here, basically. I want to be able to use the proliferator system I already have set up. So, yeah. Needs to go in right there. Then it'll swing around, it'll come into here, and it'll go through the proliferator, and then head into the matrix lab. Yeah.
Insufficient materials.
Why am I... Here, I can just grab some of these. It's fine. Proliferator is the best. I need to work on my proliferator infrastructure. What I have is not currently enough. My homeworld is currently starting to run into the crisis of running out of resources slowly. A lot of my initial resources are gone, and even some of the farther out deposits for all the iron and copper on my system is starting to run out. It's only really a problem on my homeworld. I mostly just have to start moving some of my production off-world, which is what I'm doing. It's just... it's slow going. It takes time, of course. Everything in this game takes time. Alright, so this should... yeah. Why is this not... there we go. That's better. Oh, look at that science being done. Oh, look at that science being done. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. I could import the raw resources instead of moving the production. That is an option. I don't know if that's the best option over the long term.
Replication complete.
I think ultimately I want to have multiple planets and multiple systems that are all specialized towards certain things. I think that will make things easier to manage in the long run. And I think B, it'll be a little bit more economical on things like warpers and logistics in general. Moving, like, raw resources on their own requires you to move a lot of raw resources at a time. I'm currently doing that on this planet. Svalson 1. Svalson 1 is where I have my processor production. And as you can see, there's not a lot of silicon on Svalson 1. But I'm importing a bunch of silicon ore in. And I think it's a little bit more efficient to process it into ingots and then move the ingots. I think. It seems to make sense. But, yeah, so this is going to make my research go so much faster. I'm hoping we'll eventually get a nice backlog of tech, which we can actually do that real. Where are my yellow cubes? It says I have 371 yellow cubes. Where are they? Am I blind? Unclick the use items in inventory. Ah, thank you. There we go.
Flight mode.
I've just got a bunch of stray cubes in my inventory from just, you know, just over time they've accumulated. And I was wondering where they went so I could finally get them out.
Upgrade complete.
There we go. All right. It's not really necessary to double that, I guess. But it's okay. Alright. So, where are we at with research? Solar cell attaching speed? No, I don't necessarily think that's needed right now. Communication control for the drones? That seems pretty handy. I should also really just start working towards the final cubes. I should start working towards universe matrices. The triumphant, all-encompassing culmination of the theory of everything, revealing the ultimate secret of the universe. And of course, we need 4,000 of those to win the game. Quote-unquote, win the game. Or we could improve our Dyson Sphere. We're not really using our Dyson Sphere to its fullest capacity yet, though, so I don't really feel a need to really push that. I'm not really going to be using those, but I could start working towards Assembly Machine Mark III, I guess.
Upgrade.
I'm not really looking forward to trying to build a whole bunch of more fiber optics, but I mean, we'll have to get to it eventually, right? What do we need for fiber optics anyway? Plastic. Okay. Plastic, crystal silicon, and carbon nanotubes. Let's see. There is silicon on Delta Centauri 4. That's where our primary carbon nanotube production is because of the fire ice. I don't know if that's really enough silicon, though, for that kind of project. Of course, we have fractal silicon here. And fire ice. Hold on. Hold the phone. Fire ice for carbon nanotubes. Fractal silicon for the crystal silicon. And then I would just need the plastic. Which, don't get me wrong, plastic is gross to make because it requires refined fuel oil. I suppose I'm lucky enough to have oil in this system. No. So I would probably have to craft the plastic and import it. That's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. This is a little concerning. This not so much. So I'm going to have to relearn all of the chaotic mess that is my oil industry. I definitely do have a lot of oil stored up right here. And a lot of coal right next to it. Granted, a lot of this coal is currently being whisked away to the power gods. Actually, those are using hydrogen rods. We were burning them. Technically, we still are burning them right here. Let's get rid of this. I don't really think burning coal is something we need to do anymore. I don't think it's something we've had to do for a very long time. So I don't want to get rid of this production completely because this is what feeds into our red cubes. We still need tech, as much as I hate to admit it. But we do have just like a crap ton of production here that's just unutilized.
Mineral depleted.
So maybe the first thing we need to do is revitalize our energetic graphite production.
Light mode.
Which means finding new sources of graphite or coal. Or maybe just increasing our production of our current coal. I wish I grabbed more of those grading crystals. Then I could just rapture the coal. Excuse me. Connect there. Thank you. Alright, that's a start.
Light mode.
So what's going on over here? diamond production. These are diamonds for... yeah, the graviton lenses. This production is also frozen, which is kind of problematic. We kind of need warpers. We could change the production to gravity matrices. Gravity matrices is actually probably a better recipe. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. You either get one warper from one graviton lens, or you get 8 warpers from one graviton lens and one quantum chip. I mean, I guess that is better. And that means we can hoard graviton lenses for other things. Alright, so... let's change this. Let's change this to cubes. I don't know if I like this. But... I think it's okay. We definitely do have a lot of chips. And we definitely do need the graviton lenses for a lot more than just warpers. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just kind of connect this into the already established system. And it should just be able to use those cubes to make warpers. The thing is that at this point we need to keep the production of warpers going to keep our economy rolling, basically. So if we limit this, we'll crank this up to 2,000 now, since we're relying a lot more on interstellar travel. And we'll just kind of go from there. I think that'll be a little bit less hard on our graviton lenses. Sarikson, first playthrough? Not exactly. I played through once, way back when the game first came out. And then I shelved the game, and I haven't been back to it until now. So it's not a first playthrough, but my last playthrough was literal years ago with many fewer updates to the game. So take that as you will, I suppose. Alright, so... also, welcome to the chat. Sorry, I forgot to welcome you. How dare I? We can grab some of this coal, methinks. There we go. And we can just kind of bring this down. Thanks for the follow, Linkscable. I appreciate it. You're going to say you're doing good for first, still good for second, 50 hours at green, not bad? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I agree. Thank you, I appreciate it. I know for a fact that things are not, like, perfect, and they're probably never going to be perfect, but I'm enjoying myself, and at the end of the day, that's all that I care about, so... Yeah, things are a little bit chaotic, things are a little bit messy. I like things messy. Alright, so if we push this down, we should definitely be able to revitalize our energetic graphene production. We're going to have so much coal entering this line now.
Flight mode.
Let's see, is that actually enough? Like, it should all be... yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. It's not perfect. Perfection is propaganda spread by Factorio players. Look, I don't want to start any chaos between the many factions of factory games. I don't have a lot of experience with factory games. I know Factorio exists. I own Satisfactory. I've never really played either of those games too much. But I think they're all probably fun in their own right, for different reasons. Oh, look at that. So that's a lot of energetic graphene that's re-entering the system. And I'm hoping
Flight mode.
that we'll eventually top off all of this. We definitely are going to. This, so this depot here has basically been my bellwether for how my energetic graphene is going. For the longest time, this was my only area, and then I expanded over there. And I've kind of just funneled everything into this, and this is just like the heart of my graphene area that just goes out to everything. This guy, which is a little bit smaller, and then of course I have all of this extra storage over here. I don't need to be burning graphene anymore, though. That's what we have hydrogen cells for. Yeah, let's just take out that line completely. There we go. Alright. So, we have the graphene infrastructure set up. We just needed that injection of coal to really jumpstart it. So now we need to look at the best way to expand our... where is it? Plastic? I keep wanting to say this is plastic, but I know that's the titanium. Where's the plastic? There it is. Alright, so we need refined oil and energetic graphite. So, we have a lot of unrefined oil over here. We should probably just get rid of this fractionator. I don't actually think this fractionator is doing very well anymore. Let's see, where is all of our fuel going? Are we still cracking it? Do we need to still crack it? I mean, that is getting us more energetic graphite. Hydrogen. Why does it always come back to hydrogen? So we would probably have a lot more processed fuel if our hydrogen train was actually moving. And our hydrogen train is not moving. What? Because the game hates us? What if we... So this is hydrogen down here. Yes. What if we just kind of did this? There's no in between. It's either nowhere near enough hydrogen or way too much hydrogen. Oh no, is this going the wrong way? Oh no, it is going the wrong way. Oh no, I've ruined everything. Wait, so this was coming out and heading this way. Okay, I see the problem. I think. I think I see the problem. All right, let's set this back up. So this was an inflow for the deuterium. Basically, we were sending the extra hydrogen over here, but then any more hydrogen that came here, we fed back into the system. And then here, it's prioritizing the hydrogen that's already in the system to go through the fractionators. So maybe we just need more oil refineries. The problem is that they're not going to go anywhere because all of this hydrogen is already backed up. So maybe instead of having this go to a dead end, we just add this into the circuit. And then that should start getting things moving again. Yeah. It is seriously tempting to just take this fractionator out. I have a much larger operation on the other moon that honestly makes this one look piddly. Let's see, how much deuterium are we producing here? We're producing 90 here. How much are we producing on Zbolison 4? 1,033. 1,033. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit. I don't know. I would just... You know, let's get rid of this. I think this has served its purpose. It's old, it's outdated, and again. we have better deuterium production elsewhere. There we go. I don't think this will ruin anything. All right. And honestly, if we wanted to just make sure that we still had enough deuterium, we could just take these fractionators to the other planet and set them up there. And we may just do that. We definitely have enough fractionators here to set up another chain. All right. So now with this cleared out, I still have litter somewhere. Where? There we go. Let's make sure we don't ruin anything by deleting this. Oh, it goes to the other fractionator I have here. I forgot I had two here. Yeah, this one we might keep, just because I don't necessarily know how this messy array of belts is actually positioned. But with this increased space, we can definitely make more oil refineries here. There we go. Alright, I just gotta make sure that these are all set up right. Also, I put extra space. You know, it might not necessarily be a bad thing that I put extra space here. So we can do something like this.
Mineral depleted.
I think that will work. We want the hydrogen on this outer path and the processed fuel on this inner path. Yeah. You shift left click a building, it will copy its recipe and sorter placements. Oh, I didn't know it copied sorters. I knew it copied the actual building itself. I could also just use, you know, the blueprint that I made about 100 years ago. But it's fine. It's fine. What's your problem? Fuel. I wonder how long that fuel has just been backlogged there. There we go. So with that said, we could probably stop cracking refined oil. We don't really need the graphite, and we already have way too much hydrogen. So at the time, when we set this system up, we did need the extra hydrogen because the hydrogen situation was really bad there for a while. But I don't think we need this anymore. Ooh, where is this going? Oh, this is for the energetic graphite, I believe. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, this feeds right into the energetic graphite. Yep, that's what it was for. Okay. So that should actually help our backlog of fuel a little bit, anyhow. While also assisting our massive storage of hydrogen. Though actually, we don't actually have as much hydrogen as I think we do. It just looks like we have a lot of it flowing around the system. So we don't really need this anymore. Do we? Which way is this flowing? This is flowing into here. Yeah, so once again, this whole system of hydrogen can just stop. I'm guessing if you turned on research, you'd run out of hydrogen quick. Cashmere crystals drink it all. I think we would run out of... I don't know. I don't know what we would run out of first. We might actually run out of blue research first, funnily enough. We aren't producing any anymore. Although, it's fairly easy to produce. We just... Our aging infrastructure here is struggling.
Light bulb.
Anyway, currently I think most of our hydrogen probably is being turned into deuterium. That would be my guess. Is there... Just, I guess just drain that. Oops, that's deuterium. Oops, that's also deuterium. There we go. I really don't want all of this extra hydrogen in my inventory. Whatever. There we go. Peace in our time. We have the remnants of some old infrastructure here that is causing some interesting problems. honestly, just go in there. It's okay. There we go. Okay, so where is this fuel going right now? I think some of it's actually probably going for
Mineral depleted.
Plastic production. Really, game? We had a random piece of hydrogen in the tracks, and that's stopping everything from working? Okay. Well, I don't actually know how that hydrogen got there, but I'm hoping that's just an incident that occurred a long time ago that we never caught. That has now been resolved. So wait, what's going on here? Why? Where's this coming from? Over here. Okay. So this is my old fuel production area. As you can see, this oil seep is almost out. There's not really a lot to begin with. But we are producing some plastic. Actually, we have a fair amount of plastic. It's just, like, not a long-term viable amount of plastic.
Light load.
So, we could, I suppose, run this oil the whole way across to here, to where the old oil seep is. That way we can actually make use of these oil refineries. A bit silly? Yeah. All this housekeeping for Mark III assemblers. Look. It's all this housekeeping for fiber optics. More fiber optics, I guess I should say. The Mark III assemblers are just bonus points. Alright, let's run this conveyor. We're gonna do it. We're gonna run this conveyor the whole way. Is this the right thing to do? Absolutely not. Am I doing it? Well, I mean, I am, so yeah. Honestly, though, a lot of this housekeeping is stuff that I needed to do. As soon as I realized that I didn't need the large-scale deuterium production on my homeworld anymore because I outsourced it to another planet, I should have gotten rid of the deuterium production here because it just takes up way too much space. All right, let's get this aging infrastructure going, shall we? All right, so with everything running with most of everything running again. Where am I producing fiber optics? I think I'm doing it over here. Yes. You're doing it now in 10 hours, you'll wonder why you ever did it. Yeah, that's probably reasonable. Yeah, so we do have a little bit of production here. Again, the ultimate goal is going to be to produce particle broadband on another planet. Although I guess at the moment we have more than enough. So I guess what I'm saying is that all the things that we did just a few minutes ago, a lot of it was just streamlining a few things I should have streamlined a long time ago. We don't actually really need particle broadband right now. We have a lot of these. We got a lot of these, chat. Now, will we need more? Am I upset that I did what I did? Absolutely not. But yeah, it was largely an exercise in efficiency. All right, let's go make another deuterium chain in my chaotic mess of a deuterium production. Where? Okay. Where's the other planet? There it is. By the way, we've only solved one of the problems that I had planned on solving during this playthrough. Why is that? You know what? Let's not worry about it. Sounds like a problem for another time. Except I'm falling into the gas giant. Let me out. Let me out. Okay, we're good.
Cruise ended.
Look at all that. Look at all that deuterium. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, all right. Do we really need... There's a marginal flaw in this system where the deuterium could get backed up so much that it never flows. But I don't think that's too much of a problem. Maybe. All right. Oh. We don't have everything for this yet. We need one of these.
Insufficient materials.
And two of these. There we go. I see you've mined the deuterium gas giant. How's that working out? It's too slow. It's not enough. You're only getting, like... I did the math. I did the math. It's 1.8 deuterium per second for every single
Replication complete.
orbital collector, which to fill up a logistics ship of 500 would take 277 seconds. That is the smallest amount Link's cable has ever seen. It is very tiny. So you can understand why I have decided to zoom my hydrogen into orbit. Alright, let's see if I remember how to make this work. Ooh. Alright, first things first. The deuterium outflow continues to go out. At least it's free, though. It's true. But it's just not enough. Like I said, that's like one ship of deuterium every 200 some seconds. It's just not enough. All right. Now, this guy flows into here. You believe the minor upgrades increase orbital collection speed too? They may. I don't think I'm really wanting to test that theory. I don't really have a need to test that theory, really. Alright, so that's prioritizing this way. That's right. That's right. This is right. And then it comes around. Like, it should come the whole way around, yeah? I feel like I did things slightly differently down here. Let's see, it comes around. It comes around. Comes around. Comes around. Comes around. I mean, I guess not. I guess that's fine. And just kind of do that. And we just feed the hydrogen back into the system, basically, to run it again. Ultimately. Yeah, I'm extremely pleased with this. This makes me happy. All of this deuterium flowing. It's great. I love it. All of this deuterium stored. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It is odd, in my 400 plus hours, you've never used the satellite power pylon. How is it? I actually really like it. It's a bit expensive to make, but it has such a wide radius. Ooh. My power grid's struggling a little bit here. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Somebody's mass processing deuterium. I think it looks nice with this deuterium substation because, like, they're just floating in the air. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's better than the Tesla towers, because the Tesla towers, they're so cheap to make. You can make 100 in no time. But it's just, I find them a little bit convenient. Well, I mean, I guess I have a couple of cores here. Well, I was going to say I have a couple of cores here that I could fill in, but I need photon combiners before I do that.
Flight mode.
It's a good thing my home world is right over here, right? I'm sure the big question that a lot of expert players would have is it worth
Flight mode.
the cost to build
Replication
them,
complete.
considering they need much higher value resources? And the radius they increase is not really massive. And the answer is probably not. But I like them, so I'm going to continue building them. You have one, a gas giant has twin moons, it's so convenient. That's about the only convenient thing about this seed, from my understanding. See, I know I'm building these. Where are they? They're over here. Oh. 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 Oh, that's not good. Well, this was bound to happen at some point.
Flight mode.
My chip production is fried. So we can get a few of these by doing that. That's not really ideal, though. That's not going to solve the problem. Because these two cannot carry this entire planet. We're actually going to have to build some basic chip production somewhere. Or
Flight mode.
we could try to jumpstart this chip production. This is missing iron. This is missing iron ore. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. I don't have anywhere off-world that's currently producing any of that
Insufficient
stuff.
materials.
That's
Insufficient
yeah,
materials.
no, we're not building all that. Let's just go grab the inches that we need. This is starting to become a real problem.
Insufficient materials.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
Flight mode.
So where else are we producing chips? Yeah, it's the iron. It's totally the iron. We're just running out of iron. It's just being burned through. there's like bits and pieces of iron all over the place. But it's just not cutting it. Not like it used to. So the reason why I'm building a planetary logistics station is because I do have all this iron production over here. Although even this isn't actually producing enough iron. We need even more iron. There's still a lot of iron on the planet. It's just in hard to reach locations, like all the way over here. That might be the last major vein of iron we haven't tapped into. My poor base is on life support. It really is. Maybe if we haven't been shooting all of these solar sails into space, some people would say. But then we would lose out on the cool-looking cloud around our star. I mean, this was always inevitable. We were always going to reach the point where the resources on the home planet can no longer sustain us. I'm a little bit surprised that it happened so soon. But it's not like I'm shook that this has happened. We are going to need another planetary logistics station, though. Oh, come on. Come on, you can make that jump. That would be totally a waste. Alright.
Replication complete.
You too make a oversized swarm because it spices up the view. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to, right? Like, it just looks appealing. And honestly, well, it sucks for, like, the short midterm, I suppose. Like, you have so many resources in the game. Is it really going to hurt? Is it really? I'm sure many people would say yes, but I don't see it. Like, especially when you get, like, to the repeatable vein utilization. Like, eventually you just get so much vein utilization that you just don't use resources. More or less. Raw resources, that is. I don't know.
Flight mode.
In a game as aesthetically pleasing as this, I struggle not to do things to make things look good. Whatever. That's fine. Yeah, I know. I mentioned that it's a.
Extraterrestrial dark fog is assaulting.
I'm sure it's fine. I mentioned it's a crime to do this, but it's fine. You love seeing planets just hanging out in the sky? You know what I like? I like the fact that the planets orbit the star. I know that seems like a little thing, but they could very easily have set this up
Flight mode.
in such a way that they wouldn't have to simulate the planets orbiting the star, and they wouldn't have lost anything. I mean, they would have lost something, but you don't know that you lost it if you never had it, right? I don't know if that makes sense. But, like, if they never had orbiting stars, we never would have known what we could have had. And nobody would have questioned it. No one would have questioned it. Not one person. They would have been like, oh, it's too complicated to do something like that. It'd be silly to expect that.
Replication complete.
Yet here we are. You're curious as to how that would look on on a star map? I mean, you would just have the planets be stationary. They wouldn't do anything. Where do I feed this into? Do I just feed it into here? I mean, I guess I do. Yeah, that should make both magnets and iron, which will flow down and produce chips. Is this enough chips for everything that we're using it for? Probably not. But we're working on it. What are you struggling with? Steel. That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. Because that steel is coming from here. And not here. I'll tell you what I could do. This may be a bad idea.
Flight mode.
Do I not have any of these logistic drones? Of course I don't. Whatever, we could build them easily. Okay, I want you to request steel. There we go.
Flight mode.
And I want you to deliver steel.
Replication complete.
There we go. I mean, we could provide to Icarus, I guess. How do I do this again? I never remember. At least 900? At least 1,000? At least 1,000? At least 500? I suppose that makes sense. Okay. So that will also assist in burning through my iron, because, you know, I need to burn through more iron, I guess. You have to go now. It was interesting to see how another plays the game. Have a good night. May the orbit ever be in your favor. Have a good night, Lynx. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for following. Hopefully we'll see you again.